for joining us today in the special event. As you have seen, the 20,000 doses of Sinopharm vaccines donated by the Chinese government just arrived in Guyana, thanks to the joint efforts of many public and private sectors, both in China and in Guyana, under the context of huge international and domestic demand of Chinese vaccines, but relatively insufficient production capacity. I'm proud to say that Guyana is the first country to receive such a donation in the Caribbean region, which fully reflects the strong commitment of China to strengthen the bilateral good relationship with Guyana. I hope these vaccines will be used on the most needed people and help Guyana in the fight against the COVID and in recovery of economy. Challenged by a worldwide pandemic, countries shall cooperate more closely to build a community with a shared future for mankind, rather than revel in punchy invective. Since Guyana recorded the first confirmed case of COVID-19, China has been standing in solidarity with Guyana and has provided timely assistance within our capacity. In the year of 2020, China donated 11 batches of medical supplies to Guyana. Vaccination is an essential tool to help stop the pandemic. During his speech in the World Gathering of World Health Assembly last year, President Xi Jinping of China solemnly declared that Chinese COVID-19 vaccines would be global public good when available. We make good on our promises. In the face of international nationalism of vaccines and distribution deficit, China is actively providing help and support to the developing countries and is striving for the vaccine's accessibility and affordability. We are donating COVID-19 vaccines to 53 countries in need and assisting 27 countries willing to purchase Chinese vaccines. In addition, we are going to provide 10 million doses to global vaccine sharing scheme COVAX. Friends, the cold winter cannot stop the pace of spring, and the night cannot obscure the dawn of dawn. Vaccines have ignited the light of hope in the fight against the COVID. As long as we stick to the road of cooperation and uphold multilateralism, we will completely overcome the difficulty and usher in a better tomorrow. I'm confident that the persevering and united Guyana will win the war against COVID, and the cordial relationship between China and Guyana will be even more profound and firm after the common fight against the pandemic.
Today we witness something that is quite simple but yet historic for our country, and that is the arrival of the vaccines from China to Guyana. And allow me first of all to extend our thank you, our gratitude to the government and people of China for this very generous donation. With 20,000 doses of vaccines, we would be able to immunize 10,000 people here in Guyana. And when we look at the amount of persons who are our frontline workers, who on a daily basis put themselves at risk for COVID-19, we would want to give them these vaccines first. And having this first set of vaccines coming to us, certainly we would be able to start the immunization program with these health workers. Already, my staff, headed by Dr. Hamilton, has already come up with a plan of how we are going to roll out these vaccines. And while we take them into storage tonight, you can rest assured that we will start very early to start getting these vaccines into people's arms, because we strongly believe that that's where it should be. because that is what is going to help them to build immunity and to fight against COVID-19. We're very grateful to your government also, because throughout this fight, you have been there with us, and the ambassador who was here with us before, I've had the pleasure of accepting a number of donations that he has helped to engineer and bring to Guyana. I remember one of the very first occasions that we met, he was donating to us PPEs and BPAP machines and so forth. And that has gone a long way in terms of responding to the pandemic here in Guyana. And of course, with those BPAP machines, we were able to use that for patients who had breathing difficulties. And then later on, we had a peculiar challenge of being able to automate the process of testing at the National Public Health Reference Lab. And I recall on one of the many visits that we had a discussion. An ambassador promised me that he's going to help me to sort out this problem. And shortly thereafter, we were able to get an automated piece of machine that allowed us to reduce the processing time for PCR from 8 hours to close to maybe about 2 hours. And that made a lot of difference, because we were able then to shorten the time, the turnaround time for PCR tests. So indeed, just looking in the area of COVID, we have been collaborating, we have been cooperating, and I think in this new phase of the response, where we need to have vaccines and to immunize people for us to exit the pandemic, that these vaccines are actually very timely. We look forward to the continued cooperation with the government and people of China as we not only combine our efforts to reduce the impact of COVID, but there are many other areas that we would like to collaborate with you, especially in the area of health. And that too, we are fortunate to have had over the years a Chinese brigade that has come to Guyana and has contributed in the area of health for many years. And we continue to respect the good work that they have done here. And we would like to continue and expand those collaborations. So tonight, I think this is another step in strengthening our relationship. And again, we want to thank you so much for this kind gesture, most timely gesture. And you can rest assured that we will be soon putting these vaccines into the arms of people. So thank you very much.